I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which I live today, the Gubbi Gubbi people and the Jinibara people, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Hi, I'm Jinibara. This week is pretty much part 2, carrying on from last week about those little chairs. So the main bits of video I've got to edit and bring for you this week was done a week or 2 ago. And I'm noticing that I'm feeling like, oh, there's nothing kind of new and exciting and not so much painting any kind of pictures to share with you this week. And I'm noticing how I'm already being sort of, I want to say not influenced, but I'm noticing how you can start so quickly to put expectations on the original gem of an idea that came to you. So for me, keeping this vlog kind of gentle and real and a safe space or a kind space for myself, and hopefully that extends out. So one of the things I thought I might mention is that idea of that, I don't know, not performance anxiety, but sort of where that you can sort of feel a discomfort and the shoulds start to come in. I should be posting every day on Instagram, or my other videos that have got art demos. People like those better. They don't want to hear me talk. You know, you just, that self-censoring, and I could feel the effect of doing that to myself. And so I thought, well, why not take the bull by the horns and just speak about that? That's what's up. That's what's happening this week, is the idea that when I've created sort of a safety net for myself to create weekly video, and I wanted to create the parameters to be quite soft and loose and kind, so that it was always going to be easier to make the video than let it build up, or, you know, just let it be something that can flow as part of my work week. So I've had a much shorter week in the studio, and I've got some commissions to paint. I might share 2 of the commissions when I begin them, and as I take them through the process. I might share those a little bit with you. But the other one is a Christmas gift for someone's partner, and I thought, well, just in case that's a surprise and that person might see it, I best not post that on social media until after Christmas. And I also have been feeling like it's sort of out of the way of painting for some weeks. So it was funny, I started to film a little bit and I just felt irritated, agitated by that. So I just turned off the camera and thought, all right, well, I'll just paint this commission, get it done. That it's got a sort of a deadline, and keep moving forward. I think one of the things I would love to do more is share from the sketchbook. I noticed that after that challenge was finished and then life got a bit busy, I went away for a weekend. I had a lovely friend come and stay this past weekend. So things have been different in our routine at home and in my studio. I haven't been in here very much in the last couple of weeks. And so that whole sketchbook practice has completely disappeared and gone out the window. I haven't been doing it. And so just observing how that feels a little sad. I'm sort of missing that. So I think that could be something that's more easily shareable in my vlogs. We'll see. I've been really, as I've shared in previous videos, just so amazed at how freeing and kind that sketchbooking is. And I've just been having my lunch and watching a Sandy Hester video, and she was explaining about making heaps of bad paintings. We need to make a lot of bad art to then make the good art. And it really resonated and struck me when she said, if you only focus on making work that's to sell, you don't make nearly as much work as when you paint some for yourself as well, which may end up selling, but that's not the purpose of them. There's a whole different sort of mindset that can go on. And if the work is, your only focus is I have to do the work to sell, there's all these filters that start layering on top of each other, oftentimes based on history. What sold, what didn't, what did that person comment about it, what does the gallery like, what sells most, etc. And then you start censoring all that you're doing in the work. And so I loved being reminded that the sketchbook especially is again a gift to ourselves, to be more free and to have our playtime, which will then feed into work that's for sale. So automatically, intrinsically, and actually really importantly, because sometimes when you get in that groove of thinking about just the work for sale, you just aren't as free. You're just not. You're more controlled and more tight. And so if our goal is, for me and for maybe many of us, to paint more loosely, it stands to reason we're going to have to make opportunities for that loose painting without any expectations of it having to reach a certain standard. Because if you're just learning how to do something, you can't expect it to be 100% perfect every time, because you haven't got the runs on the board to bring you those results yet. And so don't put that kind of pressure on ourselves is really quite important. So that's what's been going through my mind today. And the little chairs, which you'll see up behind me, I'll include in here the painting of those. It was a very lovely, gentle process to have them in the studio. I'd gotten over a 3 or 4 day migraine, and I thought, well, I really want to record the painting of these little things, and I can't wait to see them in their colours and paint these ones white. So I recorded the video of myself painting the little table white, painting the chairs, and then you'll see the green. It ended up being quite meditative and relaxing to just quietly paint these little pieces of furniture. And as I might have mentioned in part 1 of the videos about these little chairs and my daughters, was after spending time with them away in Melbourne for the weekend and talking about the chairs and showing them the photos of the little ones I'd ordered. I realised it was all for me to work through the sadness about them. My girls weren't really upset at all that the chairs had gone. And as much as I was surprised by that, I was really also very grateful and relieved, because it was one less thing for my mama heart to carry around on their behalf, you know. I was able to set aside that it upset them at all, that, you know, they didn't seem to have an expectation that they should have been able to find these in the attic when they were older and had their own children or anything. So I really appreciated that. It goes to show you sometimes that if you communicate to your family, if you're able to, you might find they have thoughts so different to what you think they do. And for me, I was really relieved to discover that. It was really nice. So what I realised is this green is just a little bit, just not quite what I'm looking for. So I've put a spot of Hansa Yellow Light and Cadmium Red just to have a little play around on this tray with this green and see if I can get it to be a bit more of what I'm looking for. I'll kind of know it when I see it, I think. This is just, it's a tiny bit cold or something. So I'll have to just see what happens. So the red might make it too browny. Oh yeah, I see. The brown, it takes that sort of sting out of it. I like to show it on paper. It deepens it a little. So I don't know if that's what I'm after either, but there's the difference. See that darker, it's got a bit of red. So I'll try now with a bit of yellow. That takes it quite, the brush is dirty with a bit of that red. So it might be a speck of red and sort of a little bit of yellow. Let's see what happens if I do that. Just the yellow kind of makes it a bit bright apple-y colour, apple green or something. So I'm after just a yummy green. I think there's one called Kelly Green has become really popular in the last couple of years, and I wear a heck of a lot of green, and so I noticed the change in the seasons. The first greens I was finding in the store had more blue, they were, you know, cool, and now this season I'm noticing there's more yellow in the green, in the fabric, which is sort of annoying when you want to wear them together, sort of, but yeah, I reckon that we'll try that. You can see on the bottom there, there's just a little bit more, I don't know, a tiny bit more depth to it. Hopefully it's not too strong because it'll dry maybe a little darker. But I'll go ahead and bravely do a coat and see what it's like when it's dry. Gotta be careful, a bit lumpy. I think, in honesty, this might have been better to spray paint. Using this big brush could be problematic. I'm having trouble here, having too much paint on the brush is making it a bit globby. I don't want globby. Very globby. The consistency seems sort of different to the white. It's just thicker paint. Gosh, there's just globs everywhere I'm going back over. Gosh. Kind of more taking paint off than putting it back on. Yes. The tiniest projects, you never know what you're getting yourself into. I don't want to end up having to sand them. They're a little fragile for that. So I'm taking it off by touching it while it's wet, so I need to just let it sit there, dry, and come back and do another coat. this is my little Dee Dee. So she's just made with paper there. And she really likes the red one, but we like all of them, I think. So these are very much, they're really a special little gift to my inner child, I think. Yeah, so that's all I can think of for the moment. I will see if anything else comes up as I'm editing along the way. Thanks for watching.